Have you ever felt a quiet but persistent pull towards something greater, even from a young age? Perhaps as a child, there were moments of deep introspection or an unshakable sense that you were different, set apart from those around you. These subtle, yet profound experiences may not have been mere coincidences. Instead, they could be signs that God's hand has been guiding you from the very beginning, marking you for a divine purpose. The Bible reminds us in Jeremiah 5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." These words speak to the eternal truth that some are chosen, not by accident, but by divine design. From childhood, God may have placed signs along your path, signs that point to a unique mission entrusted to you alone. In this video, we will uncover 9 signs from your childhood that may reveal you were chosen by God. As we journey through these traits, reflect on your own experiences and consider the divine purpose woven into your story. Stay with us until the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into the life of the chosen. Let's begin. 1. An early sense of difference. From a young age, you may have felt a lingering sense that you were different from your peers. Perhaps it wasn't something you could articulate at the time, but there was an undeniable feeling that you didn't entirely belong in the world around you. This difference wasn't a flaw. It was a mark, a sign that God had set you apart for a unique purpose. Children who are chosen often find themselves more introspective than others. While many were content playing games or following the crowd, you might have been drawn to solitude, preferring to observe rather than participate. Deep questions about life and existence may have filled your mind, questions that others your age rarely considered. This introspection wasn't a sign of shyness or awkwardness, but rather evidence of God's quiet work in your spirit, preparing you for a higher calling. This sense of being set apart may have also shown itself through struggles to fit in socially or even within your own family. At times, this could feel isolating or even painful, leading you to wonder why you couldn't just be like everyone else. But in Romans 12:2, the Bible reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Your uniqueness was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to reflect God's extraordinary design for your life. Even as a child, you might have felt compelled to stand up for what was right, even when it made you stand alone. This courage and sense of justice were seeds planted by God, nurturing your spirit for the work He has prepared for you. Embrace that early difference. It was the first step in a journey toward your divine purpose. 2. Heightened spiritual awareness. From the earliest days of your life, there may have been a unique sensitivity within you, a quiet awareness of the world around you that went beyond the ordinary. While other children were captivated by games or the simplicity of the moment, you might have found yourself drawn to the deeper essence of things. You noticed the unspoken emotions in people's faces, the subtle changes in the atmosphere, or the serene beauty of nature in ways others overlooked. This heightened perception was more than a personality trait. It was a spiritual gift bestowed by God. Children who are chosen often experience an inner connection to something greater, even before they fully understand what it is. For example, you may have felt inexplicably drawn to the stillness of a starry night, or found profound meaning in the sound of rustling leaves or falling rain. These moments weren't random. They were invitations from God, opening your heart to the divine presence surrounding you. This awareness might also have manifested in a sensitivity to spiritual atmospheres. You could sense when something felt off in a room or felt comforted in spaces that carried a sense of peace. It was as if your spirit was tuned into a frequency beyond the physical, perceiving the whispers of God's guidance and reassurance. Proverbs 20:27 tells us, "The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being." This scripture affirms that such sensitivity is a tool God uses to illuminate your path. This gift of heightened awareness is not common and often marks those chosen for a divine mission. It's through this sensitivity that God begins to prepare your heart, shaping it to discern His presence and will. Embrace this awareness. It is the foundation of your journey toward fulfilling His purpose. 3. A deep empathy for others. One of the most profound marks of being chosen by God is a heart that feels deeply for others. From a young age, you may have found yourself moved by the emotions and struggles of those around you. While others carried on without noticing the suffering of others, you were drawn to those in need, whether it was a classmate sitting alone, a friend hiding their pain, or even a stranger's quiet distress. This deep empathy was not accidental. It was a reflection of God's love working through you. Empathy is more than understanding someone's feelings. It is feeling their joys and sorrows as if they were your own. For chosen children, this gift often manifests early, in acts of kindness and concern that go beyond what is typical for their age. Perhaps you found yourself comforting a friend who hadn't spoken a word about their troubles, simply sensing they needed support. Or maybe you couldn't turn away from a person or animal in need, compelled to offer what little you could, even if no one else noticed. This extraordinary empathy is a spiritual gift that prepares you to serve in God's kingdom. It reflects His own heart, molding you into a vessel of compassion and care. Romans 12:15 says, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn." This scripture encapsulates the divine nature of empathy, walking alongside others in their experiences, just as Christ walks alongside us. Though this gift can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when the pain of others weighs heavily on your heart, it is a tool for fulfilling your greater purpose. God has placed this sensitivity in you to be a light in the darkness, offering hope and understanding where it is needed most. Embrace this calling, knowing it is part of His divine plan for your life. 4. Divine dreams and visions. For those chosen by God, dreams and visions often serve as powerful tools of communication and guidance, even from an early age. As a child, you may have experienced vivid, unforgettable dreams or an inner knowing that events were about to unfold. These moments, though mysterious, were not random. They were divine messages woven into your life to prepare and guide you for a greater purpose. Perhaps you recall a dream so vivid and meaningful that it stayed with you for years. It may have felt more real than the world around you, carrying a sense of urgency or peace that lingered long after you woke. These dreams often carried symbols or insights that, while not immediately understood, later revealed themselves to be significant in your life's journey. They were God's way of whispering His plans into your heart, planting seeds of purpose long before you could fully grasp them. In addition to dreams, you might have experienced moments of premonition, a sense that something was about to happen, and then seeing it unfold exactly as you felt. These instances weren't coincidences. They were evidence of a spiritual connection, a divine awareness that God was awakening in you. The Bible affirms the significance of dreams in Job 33:15-16. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds, he may speak in their ears and terrify them with warnings. Like the prophets of old, God uses dreams to reveal his plans, warn of dangers, and provide comfort. As you reflect on these moments from your childhood, recognize them as markers of your unique connection to the divine. Embrace these experiences as reminders that God has always been with you, shaping your path and preparing you to fulfill the purpose he has placed on your life. 5. Protection and guidance in times of need. Throughout your life, especially in childhood, there may have been moments when you felt inexplicably protected, times when danger loomed, yet you were somehow shielded. These instances were not mere coincidences. They were evidence of God's hand actively guiding and guarding you. For the chosen, such moments often mark the divine presence, reminding us that we are never truly alone. Perhaps you recall narrowly avoiding an accident, or being in a situation where help arrived just in time. It may have been a stranger who appeared out of nowhere to assist you, or an inexplicable instinct that led you to safety. These events were not random. They were divine interventions, orchestrated by God to ensure your journey continued according to his plan. As a child, you may have sensed an invisible presence watching over you, a feeling of peace and protection, even in the face of fear. This presence was God's promise, fulfilling his word as written in Psalm 91:11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. His angels have been with you, guiding your steps and shielding you from harm. Such moments of divine protection are part of the preparation for your calling. God preserves his chosen, ensuring that they are ready to fulfill the mission he has entrusted to them. Even in times of confusion or doubt, these experiences serve as reminders of his faithfulness and care. Reflect on these instances in your own life. Recognize them as signs of God's unwavering commitment to you and his purpose for your existence. They are not just memories. They are assurances that his guidance and protection will continue to lead you, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Trust in his plan, for he has always been with you. 6. A strong connection with God. From a young age, many chosen individuals experience a profound, almost instinctive connection with God. This connection is not something taught or acquired. It's an innate bond that seems to flow naturally, as if God's presence is a close and constant companion. For children chosen by him, this closeness often manifests as a simple yet profound trust in his care, a friendship that feels as real as any other relationship. Perhaps you recall moments in childhood when you found comfort in speaking to God, even if you didn't fully understand who he was. These weren't formal prayers, but heartfelt conversations, as though you were talking to someone who truly listened and cared. In times of fear or uncertainty, you may have felt an unexplainable peace wash over you, as if God was wrapping you in his embrace, reminding you that you were not alone. This connection often revealed itself in small but significant ways. You might have felt drawn to prayer, even without prompting, or found yourself instinctively turning to God in moments of joy or struggle. In John 15:15, Jesus says, "I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. This scripture reflects the intimacy of the relationship God desires with His chosen, a friendship rooted in love and trust. For chosen children, this closeness to God is both a gift and a preparation. It creates a foundation for the faith and courage needed to fulfill His purpose. Even in moments of doubt or wandering, the connection remains, a constant invitation to return to His presence. Embrace this bond with God, for it is the cornerstone of your spiritual journey. Nurture it with prayer, reflection, and trust, knowing that He walks beside you every step of the way. 7. Challenges that shape the spirit. For the chosen, challenges often come early and persist throughout life. These trials are not random or without meaning. They are part of God's divine preparation. As a child, you may have faced loneliness, misunderstanding, or even hardship that set you apart from others. While these experiences might have felt overwhelming at the time, they were shaping your spirit and preparing you for the greater purpose God has entrusted to you. Perhaps you struggled to find a sense of belonging among your peers, feeling isolated or different. This separation wasn't a punishment, but a process of refinement. It allowed you to see the world with deeper clarity and understand life's complexities in ways others could not. Through these moments, God was teaching you resilience, compassion, and the strength to stand firm in your identity as one chosen by Him. The Bible assures us that trials are not without purpose. In Romans 5:3-4, we are reminded, we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Every challenge you faced, whether it was emotional, relational, or even spiritual, was a tool God used to mold your character and deepen your faith. These trials often drew you closer to God, teaching you to rely on Him in ways others might never understand. You learned that in moments of weakness, His strength is revealed, and in seasons of doubt, His faithfulness shines. What may have felt like a breaking point was actually a turning point, a step closer to the person He created you to be. Reflect on these challenges with gratitude, knowing they were part of His divine plan. Each trial you overcame was a reminder that God's grace is sufficient and that He is preparing you for something extraordinary. 8. Fascination with stories of faith and courage. As a child, did stories of faith and courage captivate your imagination and inspire your heart? Perhaps while others were drawn to tales of fantasy or adventure, you felt a profound connection to accounts of spiritual heroes, those who displayed unwavering faith in the face of adversity. This fascination wasn't coincidental. It was a reflection of the deeper calling God placed in your life, preparing you to walk in the footsteps of those who came before you. Biblical figures like David, who stood fearlessly against Goliath, or Esther, who risked her life to save her people, may have stirred something deep within you. These weren't just stories. They were reminders of God's power and the extraordinary things He can accomplish through ordinary people who trust in Him. Even at a young age, their faith and courage resonated with your soul, awakening a desire to live with similar purpose and conviction. Beyond biblical narratives, you may have been drawn to real-life stories of missionaries, martyrs, or reformers who sacrificed everything for their faith. Their lives spoke to your heart, igniting a longing to make a difference in the world and stand firm in your own journey of faith. Hebrews 12:1 reminds us, "Therefore, Since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. This early interest in stories of faith and courage wasn't merely a preference. It was God's way of planting seeds of inspiration, nurturing your spirit to embrace your calling. These stories prepared you to become a beacon of faith, someone who could inspire others with the same courage and steadfastness that once moved you. Embrace this calling. It is woven into the very fabric of your soul. 9. An insatiable curiosity about the divine. From an early age, you may have found yourself asking profound questions. Questions far beyond what most children would consider. Why does God allow suffering? What happens after we die? How can we truly know Him? This insatiable curiosity wasn't just a natural inclination. It was a divine spark, a longing placed in your heart by God to seek His truth and draw closer to Him. Chosen individuals often exhibit a deep hunger to understand the mysteries of life and faith. While others may have been content with surface-level answers, you likely sought more, reading Scripture, pondering its meaning, or simply spending hours reflecting on the wonders of creation. Proverbs 2:3-5 captures this thirst for wisdom perfectly. Indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. This curiosity is not a fleeting phase, but a lifelong journey. It shapes your understanding of the divine and your role within His plan. Each question you've asked has been a step closer to uncovering your purpose, a tool God uses to guide you into deeper relationship with Him. It's through this unrelenting pursuit of truth that you begin to grasp the magnitude of His love, the depth of His wisdom, and the beauty of His plans for your life. Even in moments of doubt or confusion, your curiosity has propelled you forward, encouraging you to seek God in prayer, Scripture, and reflection. It's a gift that not only enriches your own faith, but also inspires others to embark on their own journeys of discovery. Embrace this longing for the divine. It is both the compass and fuel for fulfilling the mission you were chosen to complete. Embrace the signs of your calling. As we reflect on these signs, remember that they are not coincidences, but divine markers of the purpose God has placed on your life. Embrace your calling with faith and courage, knowing that each experience, whether joyful or challenging, has shaped you for something greater. Your journey as one of the chosen is unique, and your story has the power to inspire others. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and let's grow together in faith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more insights into living out your divine purpose. Stay blessed.